All right. Good evening, everyone. How we doing?
Great.
Hey, say hello to Trampus over there on our chat. Brian's chiming in here. Good evening, Mr. Fellow MV. Absolutely. We love having Brian on. So proud MVEs over here. So tell you what, before we get into it, why don't you introduce our guest, Jamie?
Yeah, so we got former candidate for U.S. House, Alex Balez. And not only that, Alex is a veteran. We'll probably get a little background on you when we get going here, Alex. Former ass kicker for the... Are you still an ass kicker for the greatest nation on the face of the earth? But Alex, you've been in a few branches of the military, haven't you, Alex?
Absolutely. Started in the Air Force, got some skills there, went to the Navy, and then finally finished up in the Army. So I didn't do the Marine Corps. I couldn't do the haircut. Something about that.
And then, so after that, what? I don't know exactly where it was you worked. What was the description of your job there? You did at the State Department or something, right?
So I went over there into program management and worked with INL, and the State Department went forward to. I'd spent a bunch of time. Well, not a bunch. I spent some time in Washington, and then went overseas to the embassies. It was a lot better being overseas, and you could run programs over there, work with the folks, work with the locals, and it was a good. It was a good run for a while. It really was.
Awesome. So as anybody can see, Alex is a great American. You were the endorsed candidate for House, right, by the North Dakota NDGOP.
Yep.
Yeah. I felt really good about that, and we worked really hard at it. I didn't do good enough. I guess I had to work harder, but there might be next time sometime.
I'll tell you this. What impressed me a lot was the fact that you were out there in your own vehicle. You were hitting that road, the dirt roads, the pavement, doing some shoe leather, wearing some of that off, and you were getting out there and meeting people. And very few candidates do that. They just don't.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. It was good. I met a ton of great people.
Absolutely.
I always told people, if you never met Alex, he's one of the most personable guys you'll ever meet. He seems like he can talk to anybody. And when I met you, Alex, I mean, I felt like, honestly, I've known you for 10 years or something. He's a super nice guy to talk to.
Same here.
Knowledgeable, all kinds of knowledge, which we'll get his hunting stories and some other stuff here, but we'll get into it.
I love it when we have candidates, no matter what they're running for, that they know I'm Second Amendment, right? But they don't know much about guns. They probably don't hunt. Well, you're one that does. You know about guns. You know how to hunt. You've been hunting. Kelly's the same way. He knows guns. He knows how to hunt. Those candidates don't just talk the talk. They're out there living it. And that's why we got to get him to 2A day, Jamie. We got to get him to one of them.
Oh, for sure. Or, hey, like I said, we were talking before the show when he's come down. He's got some sausage for me that he's made, and we got something for Alex and get him out to Dougie's place there, which, 20 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Alex, it's a great range out there we go to. I'm sure you've seen some of the videos we've done there.
I have. I was thinking about maybe getting something zeroed in and coming shooting against you guys.
Yeah, he stretched the legs on there. We told it. Yeah, Alex wanted to grab it, and I told him he can't do it on the live stream, but he's got the SR25 there. We'll talk about that a little bit here, but first thing.
Before we get really
going, I was just going to say, Clay, we're forgetting something here.
We are. We always do the Second Amendment, and if you would you love to do that for us? I'll put it up here. Alex said,
"Can I do that?"
Yeah,
absolutely.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Oh yeah,
perfect.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And I love it. You posit the commas just like Kelly does. Those mean something. They really do. So
yeah.
And before we get going too much, hey, Dan, good to see you. Dan's over there. Dan's a great American too. And I've known Dan a long time. I think Jamie almost as long, but not quite.
No, not quite as long as you. If I look like I'm sharing stuff on social media and other. See, Alex, I know we've been around for a long time and got a good following, but people still need to get reminded.
Reminders, yeah. So, Dan, good evening from us and from everybody over there at the Western Edge by Dickinson. Eric Newman, good evening. He says, I got a yote and 4 prairie dogs on the way home from work.
Damn, nice work.
Perfect. Boom Country.
Boom Country, what's up, buddy?
Good evening. And these guys are on the CommieTube, as I like to refer to. That's why we can't show our guns out. We can't do it because they'll just nix us, just like Fascist-book, as I call them. Josh Patterson, one shot cap for Brian and Trampus. Grad's a Trampus, by the way. Like I said, we did that drawing for a boomstick, and he was the big winner. When he drops off my bulls, he's going to pick it up. So there we go.
Well, it sounds pretty good.
I'll let you lead us off, Jamie.
Yeah, so all right, I'm gonna just quit sharing and dicking around with this stuff and get down to business here. All right, so Alex, he's boom country says he finally got off, and I was wondering where he was. I know he's been busy doing. He kind of does the same thing out there in Dickinson that our sponsor here, Bloodline, does. He's doing the Cerakoting and gun building and stuff like that. So yeah, right there, check him out. So Alex and I, we were kind of texting, right, Alex, and we're going to talk a little something later about what you were thinking about. But first of all, you did an elk hunt to Montana, right? Or it was an attempted elk hunt. Why don't you give us a little background and story on that?
So a couple things happened this year. I was lucky enough to get my once in a lifetime millennial elk tag for North Dakota. Mm-hmm. So I pulled a cow tag for out west, and we was out in the Badlands hunting that, and I was very, I was really looking forward to it. It was beautiful out there. It was a great time spent out there, but I'll tell you, the elk are well read out there. They know exactly where to be. And I did run into some folks who said really clearly they were on some private land, but I never got into them. But I did spend a bunch of time out there and did not harvest, sadly. So I got to add a little story in, because you were saying the other day, Jamie, that that deer meat wasn't something you just kill or whatever for, because you got beef and chicken and everything else. So interestingly, couple of years ago, many years ago now, on a trip overseas when I was working, I got a parasite, and the government medicine in their help fixing me got rid of that parasite. And then one day we were laying some sod and we went out for a steak dinner, and I just couldn't keep it down after like 30 minutes. And I figured I got a bad dirty plate. Well, we did it again about a month and a half later, same thing. Love the taste of steak, love beef. Went back to the doc and they said, we might have given you a little bit too much of this one kind of medicine. Uh-huh. So they think it's the beef fat, but I don't think I've eaten beef since 1991.
Oh my God. It's still to this day?
Yeah. So we are, Cindy can eat it and the family can eat it, but we are a deer and elk family, antelope, and the freezer's full of it. And that's what we live on. So on that note, if you're on your last day and you got a gratis tag, I'm begging you to shoot that doe.
All right. Hey, I'm going to take you up on that. That's awesome. I'm glad if I can help you. Yeah, because that's an actual that's a very legitimate reason right there.
Yep. So we eat. We don't buck talk yesterday, and I heard you did some pretty hard on Clay there. So Clay, I caught all that. So, but that's and then we bought a tag, $270 for a cow tag, and deal. Because you can go over. We got on some land. Go ahead.
So how much meat you think you get off of like an average sized cow elk? Like pounds wise.
Let's say you're super picky, right? And you're going to just to get a regular size cow elk, right? You didn't get the big mama, you didn't take a yearling. You're going to pull 150 pounds easy after you bowl.
Okay.
And if you're picky now, and I have people come up and sometimes we want to butcher together. I'm not the normal guy. I mean, when everything's in my freezer down there, it's all red meat. There's no silver skin. There's no nothing on there.
Oh, I'm the same way.
Yeah. So we're gonna lose a lot. But I have a really happy Labrador Retriever, so
there you go.
He gets a lot of that. But you can
get family too.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't know what to do without him. So you're going to get more than that. I mean, I've heard people get more on a really big elk. Let's say you get a big cow, you might get 175, maybe closer to 2. I don't know. Maybe if you grind and add some pork, you're not going to get 400 pounds like some people say. I mean, that'd be on the bone, but. Right. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of meat, a lot more than a deer, and it is some really good meat, as you know. So,
well, I'm looking forward to getting some sausage from you there and trying it out.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, we'd like to take 2 or 3. We were out there hunting. We got our tags, and we got up there, and the guy was real nice, but he wanted us to hunt after the bull season. So, you know, after the bull season is basically when one really smart mama cow pushes all the deer together and they move like one super smart animal. So I was up around 7,500 feet, you know, all day long, walking the ridges, chasing this herd for 5 days. And they would run 3, 4, 5 miles, and then I would go down the valley and get in front of them, and they'd run another. So yeah, me and Fish and Game out there, they owe me a little bit for working out their herd. Yeah.
Love it. Love
Well,
it.
if you've never seen Alex, every time I've seen him, the guy doesn't look like he's got an ounce of fat on his body. So that's probably a good reason why right there.
I got a little less now from that time. I tell you what, I was worn out. I came home so tired at night, but it was beautiful. It was about 15 degrees the whole time. It was windy, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful hunt. I mean, the elk were so gorgeous moving out there. But I talked to the owner out there, and I said, really, you got to let us get in that place when you're hunting the bulls. We'll help you. We'll block for you, but we got to take cows, because after they herd up, it's nigh impossible us being a single person getting on top of a group, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So no dice on that on the elk out there then.
No, not a one. I do have to tell you though, we didn't. And we tried. You know, I'm sad about it. Actually, it brings a little tear in my eye. But we get to go back, and I will tell you though, on a good news is my father-in-law is 88, wow. And he's got a hunting cabin up in Colorado. We were just on visiting him for Easter, and he drove up one day to go deer hunting, and he had a cow elk tag, and he's just sitting on the porch and sees these elk come through now, and takes a shot at about 260 yards, drops his big old cow.
What was he shooting it with?
He 30-06, just a regular old.
Okay, 180 grainer or 150.
I think he shoots a 180 grain on that, because for the, you know,
for an elk, I'd go 180. Yeah.
And so, you know, he's a little guy, probably 5'9", you know, about 165, 170. So he goes over, hooks this deer onto his car at the time, because he's got he's got his 4-wheel drive car up there, not even his truck. Pulls it back to the house, and then obviously there's nobody there to help him, right? He's got to call a buddy, but in the meantime, he skins it and gets it all taken care of on the ground, and he did. So he skins and everything and does it all himself, and he's 87. Damn, yeah, that's awesome. I love it. He's showing us a picture, and he sends us a picture with his phone, and Cindy says, "I think you got a deer," and I said, "No, I think you got an elk." And he called back, so he's still hanging in there. I want to be that good of a hunter when I'm 87.
Oh, I want to just be able to go hunting if I can make it to 87.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. That's it. Much less gut it out yourself. A freaking elk. Yeah, he's handling an elk when he's 87. And
every year he tells me he's done. He's not going to hunt anymore. That's his last year. And then he goes out and does that. And I said, you know, we're up here at the farm, obviously, right? We can't get down there. I said, Bill, I'd be there, but you know, he got it, and it's in his freezer now. And yeah, it's a good meat thing so
that's awesome. God, that is.
Like I said, I hope at 87 I'm out there roaming around.
Yeah,
doing that.
I mean, good story either way, but even better when you find out the size of the guy and his age, man. That's something.
Doing it all yourself, man. Tip my hat.
I promised him that I was going to hang up a pole next time and a gambrel for him, just when he gets to the cabin, so he can just at least lift it off the ground, you know.
Battery-powered electric winch. That's even better.
Yeah, little winch. That's way fancy, a winch now. I don't know about that, you know.
So we threatened to buy my dad one, and every time you do that, he goes and buys it. So we bought one, and I mean, now we use it in his shop. That is awesome, man. It is so much better than just the gambrel and the rope. I'm a firm believer that everybody should have one of those. Hey, there's other ways you can get tough other than pulling on that little rope, lifting a elk or a big mule deer up on there for sure.
It's good. It's good to hear you say that, because my wife's within earshot, and maybe I can convince her to let me get.
100%. And my dad even bought like the cheap one from Harbor Freight, and that thing works because you know if you're cutting on a deer and you want to bring it down a little farther when you keep. Or bring it up higher when you keep skinning or whatever you're doing. Yeah, you just hit the button instead of sitting there trying to unhook that damn, you know, you got to tie it up. Way easier with the, they're not even that much, man. They're like, I don't know, I think like, wow, you know, since Biden got in, they probably went on. They're probably like 400 or 500, but.
Yeah.
The one I got is, it folds up and it's an aluminum. I won it at a, go figure, an NRA banquet.
Really?
It was a brand new company that wanted to donate something to the Brookings, South Dakota one. I threw my hat in a bunch of tickets in a bucket, and I happened to win that thing. I love it. It's got the little blocking. It's a little bitty block and tackle that you can put anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it works awesome. It's got a deal where you can stop it, you can unhook it, and then you can pack it up. And it was made to go packing, so it fits into my packs on my horse when I go up in the mountains. So you can put it over any kind of a tree. It was great. We took it out, every time we went elk hunting and deer hunting out in Wyoming. We always had it with us.
Block and tackle. I said gambrel. The gambrel's the sticks in their legs. I meant the block and tackle.
I figured that's what you meant. But but it was very lightweight, and the whole thing folded up to something about like this as far as when it unfolded. But it was aluminum and very light. And then of course the block and tackle fit right in there. And I mean, you could literally put it in your horn pack on your saddle. It was great.
Yeah, you got to have one of those. I mean, the last cow we took, or second to last cow we took, because we harvested a couple every year in Montana before this, because we just got into them. Mm-hmm. And I remember there's a picture. I'll have to find it and send it to you. I'm standing on a 5-gallon bucket, and the elk is stretched out, hanging up, and I'm reaching up to get up just to the knee of the thing. So I mean, they're just so long. It's like butchering a horse,
Yeah, it's huge animals. I mean, I've even had like big mule deer. I think that I've never done an elk, but I have done. I mean, some beef for sure in my life. But and an elk's even longer than a freaking bull. That's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, One Shot says he's got back straps thong now for tomorrow. So there you go. Oh. Perfect.
That's perfect.
Bull Country says the way I move now, I feel like 80. Well, he's recovered pretty damn near, bro. He pretty much did break his. I can't remember if it was his lower leg or something there, but he's getting her back and long way back, but he's coming back. So
hey, there Shiloh you go. Says hello. I believe you were on Shiloh's show there. Here's the deal.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, and good to hear from these guys. Yeah, that's excellent.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Eric, you're right. Eric says, I'm old school. I do everything on the ground. I don't anymore. If I don't have to, I guess I
tell you what, over. My back hurts about halfway through that. Like, I'm just like wishing I could stand up when I got to do anything.
I've seen some guy, I think Scotty did it out there, Buckmeyer, where they were able to get down to an elk that was killed down there. And he took his pick and roll, his bed on his pickup that he uses to feed with. That's how they lifted it up. I'm like, hey,
that's what he had when I went antelope hunting there. That's exactly what we did. We did my antelope buck and his doe with that. That worked great. And I went back to his shop, and that's the first time I ever used with the electric winch. He had one in his shop there. And
that's pretty handy.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to put one up.
Those bale pickers are really nice for picking up elk. Yeah.
They're good for everything. They're not just for feeding, but I do love that you get 100% deduction and you can depreciate it out. So that's good.
Yeah. I guess I should say those elk pickers are really good for picking up hay bales.
That was nice having that.
So Boob Country says he's like, can't get lucky enough to draw the North Dakota elk, and my foot was almost gone. Bones broke all the way through. Wow.
Yeah, it was something wild like that. So
that's kind of like Corey Merriman. He's always a long time listener here too. He was his own fault probably. He didn't put a safety on a disc that folded up, and when he was working on it, it came down and went right across his ankle and his
oh god.
Yeah, it was not good. He's lucky he didn't get hurt worse, but
yeah.
Oh, yeah, Waylon, under the cover of darkness, I'm really fast. Thanks for tuning in, Waylon. Appreciate that.
You bet.
Waylon's going to be running. He's talking. We got to figure out when. It sounds like he's going to run for the Corson County Sheriff's position, and he's got my full support. So if that happens and when that comes up, I'm probably going to be busy helping on that campaign because
that's cool.
Waylon. Yep.
Right. I might have to. Hey, might have a good guest to get on Michael Bell and Dakota Mornings there too. Maybe.
And I thought it was this year, but I'm not sure. But I'll let you guys know when. I think it might be next year when the sheriff's position is up again down there in South Dakota.
Well, Clay, I tell you what, 8:20. Why don't we get our first ad and come back here and. Alex, you got any more hunting stuff you want to hit on, or should we move on to? I know you got something there next year we want to talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, and we'll talk a little more hunting too, just before we go to that.
Sounds good, buddy. We can talk a lot of more hunting.
Back with Alex right after the break. Let's go pay some bills, right?
Located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
And we are back.
Yes, sir. Here we are back. As guest tonight, Alex Balez. Alex giving us a elk hunting story there at the beginning is pretty. And it was a hunt, right? Alex said it was you had a hunt. That's why it's called hunting, though, right?
Yep, exactly. I mean, I thought if I could have gotten a 3.5 mile shot, I'd have been really good. But other than that, I was just like, and then I wouldn't give up. You know, I was just too stubborn to not go back after and keep working them. So every time they circled back into this little range, I kept going up, figuring to be smarter than them. But man, I'll tell you what, you know, bulls are okay smart, but cows are just so smart. They just
for sure. I mean, deer hunting for me, it seems like the does will bust me long before the bucks actually will. I mean, that for bow hunting and rifle hunting.
We did have a super smart drop tine up here, so there's a drop tine in the barn I was going to get a picture of, but it's kind of still getting the hair cheat off it from last year. But I was up on our farm here. We only got a little small piece here, and I was up in the front quarter and walking on this big deer, and I could see the tine drop the first time I saw him, and he was big, and he was so smart though. I hunted him all day, stalking him all day, probably from 9 in the morning when I first saw him all the way till dusk, and he would not come out of the stuff. He was always peeking and creeping. And I said, I'm going to get you at the end because I'd shoot right up to that 29 minutes every time. I got on my other 308, I've got a really nice light gathering scope. So it looks really good when you pull it up and darken. And it just got so late. And then finally he walked down, and it was just sad. It was sad. But he was smarter than me. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Whitetail or muley?
Whitetail. We got a few muleys up here, just one or two hanging around, but not many so far. Maybe if you go a little farther north, but mostly just whitetail.
So if you're wondering where up here is at, Alex, you live in Candu, right? Is that area right around there?
Yeah, up in Candu. Yeah, north of Candu, about 7 miles. And I heard people say that we've got more muleys coming up near Rock Lake and stuff, but I have yet to run into them. So, but if I do, they're going to be in.
Oh, they're bigger usually, so you get more meat off them, which is good for you. So,
yeah. There's a difference. I mean, they're a heavier browser, than a whitetail. So we pretty much grain feed the whitetails around here, so they're pretty mellow tasting. I mean, really good.
Yeah. So do you when you hunt, do you spot and stock, or do you got a hunting shack or road hunt? What do you do?
I do all my stuff spotting and stalking. I pretty much walk on all of them. If it's cold weather for the does, I'll just go sit down in the tall grass and wait for them to come out, because they'll come out, especially with muzzle loading, because it's usually doe muzzle loading, right? And you're gonna hate this, but I've only had 1 year I didn't draw a muzzle loading tag.
Really? Yeah.
I put down does every time, and my buddies will put down bucks, and then I said, that computer knows you're asking for a buck. I swear.
I mean, there's definitely advantages. I always tell people that too. If they really like meat, just put in for a doe every year. You're going to get one, man. And not only that, it's way easier to get on land if you don't have it. So.
100%. And I've tried those horn recipes, and I don't like them. So,
those tag recipes aren't much good either. Those empty tag ones.
Exactly.
Yeah, those horn ones, you grind them up. I don't know what that recipe is the Chinese use them for, but
I think that can help me. I'll try that.
Buddy. So it wasn't good in North Dakota or Montana for you then?
Well, I got a buck this year. It's fine. I did not pull my doe during muzzleloading season. They just were all skittish and all spread out by then. Usually down here, we are flush with does. In a couple of days of doe hunting.
Did the EHD get you guys up there then when it came through? No. Okay. So what?
We didn't notice.
How far out would you what's your longest distance you take a crack with your muzzleloader one?
I really don't shoot past 125 yards in the muzzleloader, because I'm not going to crank it up to 150 grains. And I normally shoot around 110, 120 grains. It's a 50 cal. It's a good gun. But I find I get plenty close to them for that. I mean, I don't know. I see other people shooting at 200-300 yards, and my drop is so big on that bullet. I mean, I'd have to get out in zero and probably at 200 to shoot 300.
Yeah, Josie said he switched to Caldwell this year and drew first time.
Oh, good deal.
Really? Oh,
yeah. So do you do the actual, everything goes down the muzzle and you ram it in there, or do you got the thing in the back with the preloaded charges?
Get the 209 primer.
No, everything goes down the muzzle.
Man, you're going old school. And iron sights too?
Yeah. Yeah, iron sights. Well, peep sights.
Traditional or inline is what Gene. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, I'm traditional, and I did change from a typical iron sight to a peep sight, to the Williams peep sight, and I like the Williams peep sight really well because it's quick to jump up on, and it gathers good light at dark.
Awesome. Cool. Jake, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to this week. We'll see. Because maybe
Bloodline Kinetics, he's one of our great sponsors here. But yeah, he says need to swing by the shop. You'll probably have to do that, Jamie. Because
because Friday, I'll say it at the end of the show too. Friday, actually, I'm gonna be on with Michael Bell, Dakota mornings, 10 o'clock. Mike, tomorrow night's the NFL draft. I don't know, Alex, you watch any football?
I watch when my wife's watching. She watches football all the time.
Okay, well, your wife might be interested in drafts tomorrow night, just the first round. And I'm be on with Michael at 10 o'clock. And depending on whether Senator Kramer has a meeting or not, we might go an hour, but a half hour for sure. We're going to go over the first round. We're going to kind of keep it regional in Minnesota, Green Bay, probably Denver, and then Michael likes the Ravens, and I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'll kick Jerry in the nuts a few times over his pick. And then, but if it goes an hour, we'll get into a little more in depth than that. And I mean, like I told Michael, I'm not Mel Kiper Jr., but I tell you what, I know guys who played a hell of a lot more football than I ever have, and they're coaches, and they're way more into it. And I can pick a good player just as much as they can in the draft. I can promise you that. So we're gonna go over the first round picks, and if anything interesting happened. And I like to follow the Vikes a little bit now in my older age. Packers, not so much. Alex, I know you're from Wisconsin. Is that who your wife likes?
She's a Broncos fan, believe it or not. So don't hold me.
All right. Well, I've been digging the Broncos a little bit too, and so we'll go over their first round pick as well, unless they trade out, which could happen. But should be fun. I appreciate Michael asking me. It's something a little different on his show. Josh says, "Oh man, not a Cowboys fan." Poor guy. It's been bad for me since the last Super Bowl, Josh. But you know what? Hey, my early 90s, I had a great time watching football with one of my best friends in life, Bill Beard. We were big Cowboys fans and watched it. Somebody said, wow, my volume went way up. No wonder. How the hell did that? It was my buddy just texted me and said, you're way louder. I usually am anyways because I am a loudmouth, but never. All right, Wyatt, how's that? I just turned it down. Shoot me another. It was up to 115. I usually got it 82. But
I never
anyway,
got into watching anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, football, I think NFL was usually on Sunday, I think. But I was either at church in the morning and then went hunting. I was never at home on Sunday, so I just never did.
Yeah.
It was never an interest to me anyway.
Well, I figured God was helping me hunt. So.
What is
well, I had a good buddy. He goes, well, he says, I could do this. I could be out. I could be sitting in church thinking about hunting, or I could be hunting thinking about God. He says, I think he'll forgive me.
all day long. I agree with that. I'm going to use that one. Let me tell you.
Brian says you're in the Kung Fu Theater tonight, Alex. Your face is not matching. It is on here, Brian. I think Brian must have some problem. It's lining right up with mine. I know we had a little
it is
issue
on our
earlier.
Other, I've been monitoring the other channels. We got a little. I can do a little of that this time because I can let you guys talk and then I can monitor everything that's going on.
Okay.
So far, it's synced up on most of the stuff. And hey, shout out to the guys over on Rumble. Thanks. If you want to comment, do it. I will grab it and paste it into here, and we'll answer your questions. And then on our regular website, there's a few people too. So, hey, thanks, kudos. We're probably running around 50. That's more than what the counter's showing because we have those other ones that we see.
All right, 2A701 looks good on X. LF, you never did contact me. There's a setting on there you got to do to actually have your comments come through. Axe figured that out. It wasn't coming through for me. We'll have to talk about it at some point. You can probably figure out your computer guy.
Use X. It's high def, and I can't think of a better guy to support. At least they don't really censor us. He's been helping out.
Right. You got to say some pretty radical shit to get censored.
Go to X. Just use X and be done.
Josh says our late friend Rich was a Cowboys fan. Clay, you remember we met Rich down at the Prairie Dog shoot there?
I do, yeah.
Eric said he's never even watched football. Josh says he's a Raiders fan, but he hasn't followed along or watched a game in years. Only one he watches now, the Kill Your Cowboys, who his boys plays for. Oh, Josh, I can tell you, they got a hell of a tight end there last year in the draft. He was actually, I think, all-pro. So,
and the only tight ends I ever looked at was the ones that were female walking around when I was trying
Buckle
to
bunnies, man.
Yeah, especially when I was trying to ride, which I wasn't that good at.
Gene says maxi ball, Sabbath or round ball, Alex Freer.
So I used to do all round ball out of a Cabela's Hawkins model that Cindy gave me as a wedding gift, or anniversary gift about 2 years in. But now I'm shooting a maxi ball or a Sabbath, and I just picked up one that it doesn't have a plastic sheath to it, but it's got a small little seal on the back of it, and it loads really easy. But I was going to talk about that a little bit. But let me show you. Can you see that picture if I show it to you? Of those
Oh shit! Look at that. Nice.
Keep holding it up there. There we go. We'll do that.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's a couple that we got the other year, and I tell you, we got some good meat out of it. So
you got.
Yeah, there you go. I'm standing.
There you go. There. Perfect. Yeah. Oh shit! Look at that. Yeah. Awesome, man.
A better view of it. Whoop, that wasn't.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If you email that to Clay, he can pop that thing up for you in about two minutes.
Email it to me, and I can grab it off my email.
Yeah, we'll get give us your email, Clay. We'll do that.
theshootist93@gmail.com.
The Shootist 93. That's in there. She said that because when my wife first saw your email, she thought you wrote the Hooter. I said,
the Hooterites are calling you.
Well, I always liked John Wayne, so
There you go. There you go. I like that. That's good. Thank you. Hey, I was going to tell you too. The big difference, I think, in loading down the throat on these muzzle loaders is the Ogden 409. It changed your whole world. Because I've shot a ton of 777, a ton of power decks and stuff, and 2 or 3 shots in the field, and you got to run your rod down there, and you can barely get the bullet.
Just
down.
Heavy carbon or what?
It burns. It gets so much burnt. There's so much burn and waste in there. So I tried it this year not last year when I first could afford some Ogden. It's not cheap, right? But I could do 5 shots before I even touched it. and with a no problem load. That stuff is some clean burning stuff. Yeah, I'd be a good spokesperson for that black powder, because when you're out there and you got to load fast, there's no resistance on it. It's great, really good.
So that's one thing I don't know much about muzzle loading. I've got a muzzle loader. Mine's an inline that I won at a 4-H banquet or something, and not that I don't want to do it. It's just one of the things I never got into it. I should give it a whirl. But it sounds like you're the guy I need to talk to, because you can probably walk me through it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, come up and we could just, go after some does, and it's so much fun. There's hardly anybody out. It's a little bit colder sometimes, but it's look, with a rifle, I still work at hunting. It's never easy, right? Sometimes it goes fast, but it's never easy. But with muzzleloading, you got to pay attention, because you got that one shot,
Well, what we should do is you should come down here into my unit, and then we can hunt my own land, and we've got a few acres around here we can get on. And
Clay's putting some hunting shacks up too, so you won't even have to walk as much.
I hope I get some of that done this year. We'll see. But
Levi
can come down and film. I mean, we can make
absolutely
a whole weekend of it. Absolutely.
Levi, he said he's coming in late. What muzzleloader are you shooting again, Alex?
So I had 3, but I'm getting rid of one. So the Hawkins model, the Cabela's Hawkins model that Cindy gave me, is a cap and ball. And that's good, but I switched into the CVA, which allows you to use that 209 primer, because here's my experience, and maybe people have a different experience. When it gets really cold, say it's 20 below, right? And that's what it is a lot of times up here, right? And you're out hunting, and you've been hanging out for like 5-6 hours, and that cold well is in there. I've busted a lot of caps on the load, just primers, and the cap and ball, and they just don't burn off sometimes. So when I switch to the 209, I get a real positive burn. So it's a shotgun primer, obviously a lot hotter, and you just can't afford to have it snap 3-4 times and then it doesn't go off. So other people, I don't know that everybody has that experience. Above 0, like 10 degrees, 15, I have no problem with the cap and ball. But when it gets super cold, I've had it. So I need the doggone thing to go off.
Gene Cox, he says, try a vegetable fiber wad over powder. I feel like that cleans the bore on the way out. Okay, good advice.
That's a good, that is a good follow up. Yeah, I think I had better luck too when I was using beeswax and cotton too to clean bore. When I was just jamming the rot down there. So he's probably right. That's good advice.
Let's see. Levi asked, what CVA are you using?
I'd have to go grab it. It breaks in half to let you put the primer in, but I can't remember the exact model of it. But it wasn't super expensive, and I will tell you this: with that peep sight, it's just a real accurate gun. It shoots really nice. Awesome. Yeah, and not super expensive, so you can get into it without.
Jake said that's a long range muzzle loader.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, this is a foreign thing to me. Not that it's bad. I've never ever done it. So something new.
Honestly, Alex, I've never even pulled the trigger on a muzzle loader ever. I'd love to.
I have once, but it wasn't mine.
I told Levi what we need to do is have him bring that thing up to Axel's place, and we'll shoot that thing in a jowl block. I want to see what the muzzle loader.
I don't have. Yeah, I don't have any doubt.
We're bringing a bunch of powders from different.
Love it.
We don't have. I bet you we got quite a few guys out there that are very knowledgeable of it. Plus, they would love to have a black powder shoot. And you know what? That'd give me a reason to learn. Even I might not be worth a damn, but neither of us would. But hey, sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Yeah. Hey, squeezing triggers is fun, man. I love
it. Anytime you're sending freedom seeds downrange.
I mean that was original freedom seed right there.
Right.
That's why we're sitting here.
Gene says I'm a traditional guy. I use black powder when it gets cold, easier start, but fouling is bad. There you go. And he is. Gene loves all the traditional stuff, and he's good with them. He really is.
Yeah. Well, it's a I don't have an inline, but I got a buddy who's got a CVS inline. He swears by it, but I like going on the throat with it. I feel better about it. So.
Josh, hey, he said he's got. He'll have to send mine with me. It's 250 grain. But yeah, you got to show me how to load it and everything else. So Josh, me and Axel come. No hands left. Some bitch just went off.
I guess I don't have. I thought I might have mine here. I must have it in a different room. But yeah.
The thing about it is so nice is that you hear about it when you first shoot. Like I was young when I was first started shooting, but you do have to wait. you drop that trigger and you got to hold steady because it's not immediate gratification, you know.
I kind of
Yeah.
remember when we were down in New Mexico at the Withington Center shooting their big white buffalo target. I forget how many yards that's out there, but we were shooting some guns that were moving pretty slow. And that was kind of fun because you shoot and then you literally had time to get over to your spotting scope and take a look before you can see it. And that those guys, you know, I'll give them, not my equipment. They were shooting black powder out that far. And I think that's like 900
yeah.
and some yards, but the guns were sitting, they knew what they were doing. I had no clue. I didn't think they could do it. I was like, all right, I'm impressed. Now, I imagine it wasn't hitting very hard out there, but nonetheless, they were ringing that steel.
Well, I tell you what, somebody asked there, it might be the Acura model. I'm not sure, but I will tell you this. My Uncle Oscar and my uncles up here, they shot black powder all the time. I ended up getting his long guns, and he has a couple that are close to 5.5 feet long, right? And if we get a chance, and they're just here, you know, and you can shoot them. I mean, they just shoot a ball out there. But I'd like to get on those guns sometime and just shoot for distance, see what happens, because I'm always shooting the distance I'm going to hunt, right? But I'd like to get on them and shoot them farther out and see what it's like.
Absolutely.
You know, we got to remember you're this black powder guy, because before black powder season starts this fall, you got to come on and we got to have just a big whole black powder show with you. Little history of it, and
we should do
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I know. Like I'm like Clay. I don't know diddly squat about it, but this is pretty.
I don't know either.
I'll tell you what, Clay. 8:42. Should we hit our second ad here and come back, and we'll hit a little more if Alex wants to do a little more black powder. And he's got a modern one we can talk about too there.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. We'll take our big
Let's do
break
it
here, and I think I got this all correct, Jamie. I added in. I replaced Mandan Sporting Goods with the Mandan Sporting Goods Cruise Night. That's coming up. We want to plug that a little bit as well.
Sure.
So, all right, we'll be back here after about 4 minutes.
Sounds good.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
It's Mandan's Monday Night Cruise, powered by Mandan Sporting Goods, every second Monday of each month.
May 29th, July 14th, August 11th, September 8th, and Octave.
Route predetermined before each drive. Starting point for each event will be at Mandan's parking lot at 5:30 and returning around 7 p.m. for food and beverages. There will be a 50 gun raffle after each cruise, with 50% of the profits going towards the Believers. Believers at Believers 1 on Facebook and and at @TheB_Levers on Instagram. Mandam Monday Night Cruise, powered by Mandam Sporting Goods. Every second of each month, now through October 13th.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
All right, we are back. Hey, during that break, look what I got. That's a little better picture there. That's the
Oh, nice.
So,
hell of a good picture.
All right.
I like it.
I'm guessing we thank your wife for getting that to us, right?
Yeah, I will do
All
that.
right,
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a lot of meat there. So is that the guy we were talking about who's 87?
Yep, there he
Wow.
is. Yep.
I got to tip my hat to that guy. My goodness. So,
Me too. That's unbelievable. I love it.
before we go on here, I'm going to put this up here. You saw that in the ad there. Mandan, they're having their Mandan's Monday night cruise. Mandan Sporting Goods putting that on, and I don't know, Jamie. We might have to talk to Brandon. Maybe Guns and 701's going to have to do a little.
Yeah, he's got a lot of freaking sponsors. There's some good ones too. I see that. And if you don't want to forget, they do have a Mandan Cruise Night. They have a Facebook page, and go on there and follow them so you don't forget when it's going on. So
yeah, and I've got it running in the bottom here, but I'll try to get something on our website even. But April 14th, of course, is done. May 12th, it's the second Monday of each month. May 12th, June 9th, July 14th, August 11th, September 8th, and October 13th. And I can tell you right now, that 62 we should have tuned up pretty good here. I don't know if I'll make the May one, but I'm definitely going to try to make that June one. We'll see how it goes, Jamie. But
awesome,
because we're going to have to go set up there, I think, and do kind of like a live.
Yep. Absolutely. And my buddy Big R, he's got an old cruiser Chevy too. He wants to drive over there, so he might be there on May 12th. So
my 74 International Scout ain't quite ready for that kind of road trip yet. So I'll be bringing that. We're getting
all right. So
there.
Alex, you got anything else you want to add on that hunting and muzzle loading, and then we'll go on to what you just got there?
No, I just think that it's worth getting into. It's especially if you're going to go after that second season in North Dakota for muzzle loading. I mean, it's worth the investment. I'll be honest, I've never pulled a buck tag in there ever, but you can pull a doe tag pretty easy.
Well, it'd be fun just shooting one even with a muzzle loader, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it hits them hard. And the thing is, you don't waste a lot of meat. I mean, it stops, so it's not like a rifle hit where you're going to lose some,
Yeah, for sure.
So
awesome, man. That's some good info. Like I said, come before that starts again, sometime in November. We got to have you on and talk get in some heavy muzzle loading talk with you. I think that'd be a freaking awesome show.
Yeah, we bring that down the gun sometime. Bring a whole bunch of powder and just
I'd love it. Love to do that.
Right.
So
well, we got a bunch.
So talking modern firearms, you told me you got yourself an SR25. Did you have that before? Were you getting some work done to it, or just buy it, or what?
So I had the opportunity to use a SR25 when I was working, and I came across it kind of by chance in that everybody was picking up weapons, and this one was really heavy, and it was a 308 or 7.62, right? So and I wanted something with some more punch. No one wanted to carry it, so I got lucky enough to grab it up, not really knowing what I was grabbing in hold of back then. Then did a little work with it, and I liked it a lot. And then it was nice enough that I got one for myself and Cindy for one of our anniversaries. So
you got one for her?
That's the way it worked. Well, yeah, it's her gun. I just use it, Nice. So yeah, I got it sitting there. I thought, let me see where I can turn this here where I can give you a good look at it.
So that's the 20-inch or the carbine?
That's a 20-inch. Yeah, it's a 20-inch. Yep. Which is the more standard model on the 110. Yep. So technically this is a Navy model because it's got ambidextrous safeties, and that's I think that's pretty much the model that we always got into.
Awesome.
It configured this way without a suppressor and no magazine. It's around 13 pounds, so it's not a light gun to carry.
Right.
But it's super.
So the first ones when they came out with them in the 90s were all 24-inch bull barrels, right? And then about 2000, they actually went to the SR25 with mostly the 20-inch barrel, and they did the QD suppressor and all that, and got kind of popular over in theater over there in the desert.
Here's another one I grabbed of that exact type.
So yours has a chrome-plated bolt carrier too? Okay, awesome. You want that. If you can get that, chrome-plated or nickel-plated, if you don't know much about AR-15s or AR-10s, by all means, you're going to want that thing chrome-plated or nickel-plated, because if it's dry, it'll run. It'll still run pretty good. So, Leon, that was the 19th, man. It's over.
I thought we missed.
We shot it around the world, Alex. It was a 250-year anniversary of Concord Bridge. It was Saturday. There was kind of a thing going on. And yeah. So, I'm not going to lie to you. I probably missed tipping my shot off that morning, but I did have a gun next to me, and I shot plenty later that day. So
I was kind of busy that week. It was Easter weekend, so we had a lot of family around.
Hey, 2A701, go ahead and do the shot herd around Eastern North Dakota this week. Perfect.
There we go.
Yeah. I think him and Eli were out shooting anyways. I thought I saw you did a post on it, but
awesome.
Yeah. What kind of, do you do any group shooting? Are you into shooting tiny groups with that thing, Alex? What do you get for a 100-yard group with that?
It'll shoot a 3/4.
Okay, because that's what they guarantee it, right? I think they guarantee you less than MOA on them. So that
and that's if you're, it'll shoot that out there. It'll shoot farther. It's not a fast shooting gun. You typically 5 rounds a minute for 4 or 5 minutes. You're not supposed to heat the gun. You could if you didn't care, but it really likes to shoot 168 grain round. I don't reload. I just use
which they kind of designed it for, right? Really, the barrel twist. That was their main thing that they. Okay.
Yeah, and they use around 44 grains of powder. It's real standard. They use technically it is a hollow point, fully jacketed. So when you look at the round, it's got that tiny little
like a Sierra Match King probably is what the bullet is. What kind of powder do they use? Is it ball or what? Or haven't you ever broke one down?
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Dave,
you say that
he's listening.
There's a lot of discussion about the powder. So some people think it's proprietary because it looks cut a special way. There's a lot of back and forth on it. I don't know that Federal tells you exactly what the exact powder is, because when you're reloading, or the guys that I know that reload this, they have to shoot a bunch of their reloads to get the accuracy back. To get where they want to be compared to the match round. Not that they're not good reloads, that they are great, but they got to get that powder exactly right, because it burns different than the and I think the 20-inch barrel gives us the best burn on this.
Right. The 308 is kind of like a 223. 20-inch barrel is, a lot of people tell you that's a sweet spot, and I'm not going to my 24 definitely goes faster than my 223, but the 20-inch barrel, that's your. I did a thing about short barrels once, like kicking doors, and Jake, our guy at Bloodline Kinetics, he was in Afghanistan, and he said, shit, the guys in his, I think he was airborne, but he said the guys over there, door kickers, are using the 20-inch, the old A2s. He said, because, they got, obviously, you're getting more velocity, more killing power. So he's like, yeah, they didn't want to dink around with the 14s, and he said they work just fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of guys running 11-inch barrels on their M4s, or what do you want to call it? And mostly because for maneuverability, like maybe they're working a ship or maybe they're working inside things, but that 11-inch barrel really takes down. I mean, you can't carry it in the street anyway. It's a strictly mill-use barrel, Yeah.
I know I've been watching a lot of stuff guys are saying, a lot of these far more popular gun tubers than we are, but nobody needs a 16 anymore. All you need is a 14. And I'm like, hey man, 2.5 more inches gives you way more powder burn, that extra velocity. Honestly, if I had to do just like one freaking barrel, it'd probably be an 18 for everything. Well,
I'm gonna hump a long barrel whenever I can, because you can always reach short, but it's harder to reach that long.
Right. It's only 150 feet per second. Maybe, but that's way more killing power at another 100 freaking yards. If you, like you say, you do got to reach out.
And you're not going to shoot this, like they want you to zero this weapon at 600 yards, right? And you're not going to do that zero accurately, consistently with a shorter barrel, in my opinion. Now, one of the reasons why, I'm a kind of a utility shooter. I shoot because that was my job before, and I still work the range a little bit when I go to work. And, I need to hunt, but I shoot with guys that are fantastic. So I got to keep my skills up, because they just
I'd love to shoot that gun. I've never seen one in the wild, if you want to say it that way. But yeah, yours is that's I've just seen them in the movies, and of course I think what was the movie about Chris Kyle? I think he had one in there. And yeah.
Well, what we should do is we got to bring this down, and we'll bring the book, so we track the rounds, because we got to make sure that we write.
Yeah, let's range test that baby. Yeah, we'll video that. You run it, man. We'll get the jugs out, and we got the steel as far as you want to shoot out at Axe's place, and we'll get the gel going.
We'll put you guys out.
For sure.
Get down to Familiar. I'll lend you my girlfriend for that.
Perfect. That's one you can lend out right there, right? There you go. Boom Country said he loves his 18s. Yeah. 2A701 says he got the 11-inch in his truck and home defense. Yeah, for sure. If you got something like that for like your truck gun or just in your house, I'm still going 16-inch, but I can't blame anybody for having a handy short one like that.
I'm surprised 2A701 doesn't have the longest one that you can get. But
it's bigger round. He's probably got a bull barrel on it.
He's got a bigger bore. Or just giving you crap.
I do have a buddy who tells me that, if you're going to end up trying to win against a bunch of pistols and you want to take a short rifle, just take a short rifle, because you're still going to punch harder.
Right. And I have shot like the PCCs. I enjoy the shit out of shooting them, but 100%. Even a short barreled rifle is still going to. It's not even close, really. Even if you lose all that velocity, that 223 pistol is going to beat the shit out of it, It's just put a count on and don't worry about it then, right? Do you run a count at all, Alex? You got a count on in here?
At work, we work with them, but it's to be honest, the can that works on this gun is around $3,200, and I just not there yet.
Well, I noticed your barrel. You got like a standard flash hider on it. You could just go down Mandan Sporting Goods and get yourself one, and shit, you're good to go.
Yeah, I think I could do it for less, but they recommend the other one for accuracy, and I'm I shoot it at work
because they do make their own, right? The company that makes them, KAC, they make their own can for it too. So it's kind of longer, right? Does it go over the barrel? It almost looks like it goes over the barrel and back farther down, right?
It goes back a little bit, and then you have a different charging handle, which has some grooves that vent the gases away.
So how quiet is it when you shoot it? Is it pretty quiet? Have you been around one that's suppressed?
Yeah, I think they're very quiet. You hear the gun noise because there's a lot of gun moving here, but no, Yeah, it's quiet. I mean, it's a well-made suppressor.
Well, crap. I mean, if you do run for office again and win, you might have to, talk to some gun companies and say,
I'll have to splurge. Maybe I'll do that as a gift if I win next time. Yeah.
So speaking of that, you were thinking about maybe, running again for something, right?
Well, I want to stay.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, I'm not forcing you to.
Yeah. And we come here, boy. Come here. You're okay. It's the lab just came in. So
get his face up there. YouTube and Facebook won't zap us for showing a dog.
There
you go.
There you go. Oh, he's a good boy. Yeah.
Good looking dog there.
Oh, he's the best. Yeah. He's a North Dakota dog
awesome.
too. Yep. So Dad was a champ. And he's just the best. Everybody says I should train my dog, and I'm like, he's the perfect dog. I can't train him any better. He knows how to be a dog.
Yeah, smart dog. Hey, some dogs you don't have to, man. I mean, they're definitely different intelligence levels, but all right, go on. Go.
Oh my God, yeah, smarter than me. Anyway, so,
yeah, most dogs are smarter than me.
More emotionally intelligent. So I think, with this year we did something interesting in our district. We decided to participate more. Jason Pierce is our district chair.
And what district are you in up there?
115. They redistricted, and he's fantastic. He's a vet, and he's just really great. He called and asked if we would run for vice chair. So I ran for vice chair, and Cindy ran for at large. So we're kind of trying to play a bigger role and help organize and stuff a little bit to get people out. So we're working at it. And I don't know what's going to happen next, whether it's going to be an exploratory but I'm talking to folks to see what the interest is out there. I mean, I felt, somebody asked me like how I felt afterwards, and I'll be honest, I felt very disappointed because I think this is the best time to be helping this country.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to study right now, you got Trump in office, you got all these guys, and I feel like I felt like I'm not doing enough. So yeah, I want to stay involved.
So are you thinking like state or county or federal, or you haven't really made your mind up yet? Real quick before you answer that, 2A701 says, I'm just saying I was an Alex guy first.
There you go. All right.
Thanks I was followed shortly behind him. But go on, Alex.
The thing about it is, I appreciate the guys and thank you. I feel like I'd be better at the federal level. I know it really well. I feel like experience counts. But the thing about what you want to do and what you can do is that you got to get interest. So that's why I'm talking to folks now to see what North Dakota would like to see if I'm going to participate and serve again. And, we've got to have people that just want to serve. And I get a little frustrated sometimes with some of the public servants we have that aren't driven by just public service. And I'm disappointed. I'll tell anybody straight up. I think we could have had a better person right now as a representative. That's just my feeling. I've said that when I was running. Nothing changed for me. It's not saying it's a bad person. It's just we needed better. That's
I mean, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with saying that. I mean, exactly like you said, not a bad person, but you thought it was better. And I mean,
and I don't disagree with you on.
I voted for you. So yeah, absolutely.
Nothing against Julie, but I just don't think she was the right person at this time. I really didn't.
Well,
yeah. And there's so much to do. I mean, we have such a big challenge ahead of ourselves. And I think we're getting it done, but we need hard people right now. I mean, it's nut cutting time.
Yes.
And
I like that. It is nut cutting time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know you're right. We need people right now that are going to go in there and get on mission and get it done. And they don't care about getting elected the next time. I think that's another.
Oh, you can't worry about what the media is going to say about you and bitch about.
That's what I mean. Don't worry about it. Do what's constitutional and correct, and just do it.
I saw today that Fox News had another poll up. Trump's down here and he's down there, and and I know people bitching about the stock market and shit, and I'm like, do you guys realize you have to do something for the long term, or you can't keep putting this shit off? And well, people just like to bread bear somebody, but people just, Americans just like to come in and have everything steady. Well, everything's not steady in your freaking life, man. That's not how shit works in reality. It goes up and it goes down. And like Trump said with with China, I can do it quick and get it over with, or we can make it go longer and it'll last longer. And we're going to get a better deal. You want to go back to shut the tariffs off and we keep getting freaking boots stomped by these guys? That's bullshit. I know we're a rich country, but how many trillion are we in debt? But you can't keep going that way, man.
No.
Yeah, agreed.
Somebody gets in there and like you said, I don't give a shit. Like Clay said, they're not going to have to worry about not getting elected again. You got to do what you got to freaking do.
Right.
And
if you're running because you want to be a career politician, that's probably the wrong reason.
Yeah.
You want to go in there to do the right thing, uphold the Constitution, and actually mean it, and actually do what you can that's going to help your constituents in a constitutional manner. And that's where maybe you guys like you, Alex, and myself.
Oh, Clay, that old outdated piece of butt wipe doesn't.
That's right. I love
nowadays.
that old outdated rag, and I love the flag, and that's what I ran on when I was running for the county commission. I sat back and said, is it a function of government? And if the answer was no, then I didn't support it. And I pissed some people off, didn't care, because there are certain things that are not a function of government.
That's right.
Let me in a few comments here. 2A701 says, met the man, thought he was solid. Absolutely. Like beginning of the show, that's what I said right away. I met Alex. I knew the guy was real. He wasn't phony. I mean, easy guy to talk to. Doesn't get worse. You know what I like about you, Alex? You don't lose your shit. Like I get excited and mad, and sometimes I get passionate and start throwing F-bombs out. And I don't apologize for doing that, but I mean, I wish I was more level-headed like yourself. That's why you were a kick-ass guy in the military, and I'm just a loudmouth guy on a live stream. But also, he says down to earth, calloused hands, door kicker, and no deficit in T levels. Absolutely not. He has no. Back to we were talking about elk. Carrie Lynn out there, she's on the western edge. First time I've ever put in for an elk, she said she drew the tag.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I don't know where you're at out there, but if you need help butchering, you give us a call. We will show up.
I've never drawn. I put in every year. I've never drawn.
Really?
I suppose maybe Jeb's making sure I don't get mine, right?
Yeah, somebody's in there. Yeah, fixing it.
I wish you should have told me that, because like Clay was talking about Scott Bachmeyer, I bet you Scotty'd have got you right out there on a man. I wish I'd have known that you're having bad luck like that. We could have got you. I think we could have. Yeah, but water under the bridge. So so we're talking about the politics, and I gotta tell you, I don't know if you guys saw. I know Carrie saw this. I did a post, like I was just saying too. Alex, I tend to use some vulgarities. We had these dipshits doing their rally again here against Trump and the communists and the Nazi regime and all that. First we had the hands off rally, and then we had these 50, 51, whatever. I don't know what you guys think of this, but these guys are completely freaking bass backwards, right? They think their freedoms are getting taken away. Trump hasn't done anything. He correct me if I'm wrong. Second Amendment, right? Trump's already reversed a bunch of shit, and he's just getting started. Freedom of speech. Oh, how is Trump taking away your freedom? You aren't getting, Trump wants these people to not kick you off for speaking your mind on social media. Elon Musk, same way, right? Like we talked about it, Clay, right? X, you can go on there and speak your mind. You can post pictures of yourself shooting guns or holding guns. You don't get kicked off. It's a complete opposite of what these people are saying, right? They claim to love the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Biden's the one who's trying to take the shit away. I don't know you can't convince these guys, right? It's unbelievable to me. Climate change, and they're about Social Security and Medicare. They're taking it away. I don't know how many times Trump's had to say it. He's not touching either one of them. That's one of their big deals, right? Open borders. The borders are freaking wide open. Trump's not the one leaving the borders open. He's the guy who's got it down to 98% less border crossings now.
It's essentially
Yeah,
closed.
yeah, and defund the police. Trump's the guy is law and order, for Christ's sake, and they say everything's in chaos. No, you guys are the ones who want to defund the police with your rallies and shit. That's DEI. You know, I mean, Nazi camps. Really, he was going to open Nazi concentration.
Yeah.
When are you guys going to the concentration camps? Then, because you're not. Biden's the one who was throwing people in jail for their political beliefs. So, you guys want to expand on that a little bit? I can't stand these people in their rallies. They piss me off.
It's not just the rallies either. I mean, you look at some of the people that are on him even about Second Amendment issues right now. And let's just face it, he has shut down a bunch. Okay, it's maybe not making headlines, but a lot of it's been shut down. Give them some time. There is so much to unravel because so much is done regulatory way that the ATF and the Department of Justice, you got Pam Bondi and you got Kash Patel in there. They're working on it. I have no doubt. And I think there's going to be some things coming because now Kash Patel is now going to be the acting ATF guy or something.
Clay, I got to do this before I forget because you're talking about guns. So this Fox News poll I was talking about, 44% disapprove of Trump and only 41% approve of him. I mean, do you guys got your head up your freaking collective asses here?
You know, I'd have to look at the sampling and the area. I don't believe polls and never do, never have. And probably because I took stats and I learned how you can make any stat look the way you want it to.
Yeah, right, 2A701. Go ahead, Alex. I'm sorry.
You guys are hitting it exactly right. First of all, you know, they in the last 4 years, they won a battle. The left won a battle. And if it wasn't any more clear, we kind of thought we knew what they were doing. And then we watched what they do when they go down to El Salvador and they visit criminals. Right. Rather than their constituents. So now they've shown, not only have they shown their true colors, but we have to pay attention to that. And, you know, I don't, this is the difference. Okay. I don't read the headlines or the polls before I read the Constitution. So the bottom line is that I'm not going to pay attention to that stuff because we have our guidelines already. And what I want my representatives to do is to get out there and I want them to be vocal. It's okay to be vocal. Put some skin in the game. Stop in front of your microphone and say, this is right. Trump's doing this right. Or if he's not doing it right, that's fine. But everything that's gone on so far right now is what needs to be done.
Yeah, and things are pretty good, aren't they, right now?
Yeah. He's getting a ton done. Now, is there a lot to do? You know, I got a guy called me up because during the campaign, I said, you know, if you get rats in your barn, you go down there and start shooting them. And you wouldn't just stand around and say, you know, we got rats in the barn and let them be. And he said, are you saying we should shoot the illegals? I said, no, that would be a metaphor. But anyway,
depends on if you're shooting back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. What I'm saying is you start somewhere. Now, do we need to do more? Yeah. But let me tell you what, we're gonna get this done. And you're going to see this resistance keep going. So what Democrats have to ask themselves, and they need to ask themselves in front of people, do they really believe this stuff? Or are they just tied to the money behind it? Because if you're just tied to the money behind it, I'm guessing that senator that went to El Salvador, and I'm not accusing him of nothing.
There's 4 of them.
I'm guessing those boys have some money coming in from somewhere that makes them want to go visit a gang member.
So Chris Van Hollen's from Connecticut. He went down there.
Yep.
2 illegals just got arrested for murdering another woman with 2 children. He's down there trying to get illegal wife-beating criminal MS-13 gang members back up here while a constituent in his own state was murdered by a frickin' illegal who was in here like for the 3rd time already. And I mean, these people are frickin' these people don't live in a world of frickin' reality, man.
No. And they're not citizens. So they don't have a due process.
Exactly. You know, that's why all these judges making these, like, stop. First of all, they're illegal aliens and illegal aliens.
I know, but there is a court case that actually.
I know, but I don't care. The court case is wrong.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Constitutional protection. They're not citizens of the country.
So I had an argument with a guy. It was a Facebook argument but he was all about due process shit, right?
Yep.
And I said, so what about Second Amendment rights? Then do you get your Second Amendment rights? Because he said no right away, and then he couldn't take it anymore. He had to. You knew he was. They should, and they already can. And I said, no, they can't. There was a court case. Judge, I think his last name was Ho, down in Louisiana. And you know what he said? That's ridiculous. You're an illegal. Saying you have a right to be in the country and the rights we have is like saying just because you break into somebody's house, you got a right to go in and live in their house. It's not whatever court case it was. I know Scalia said some shit about it too, which I was disappointed to see what he said about. I actually sent it to myself. So, I mean, this has to get reheard or something, because I guarantee you they weren't thinking. The Democrats always know how to connive this shit. That's why they let 10 million people in here and said, let them try and get them all going to freaking court when we scream due process, because they didn't have due process coming in. Alex, do you know anything about that CBP One app, you know, that they used to come in here? Did that automatically give them a court date so they can go, yeah, they had a court date set up?
Exactly. So that whole thing was a scam just so that you could pretend to be following immigration law, and it wasn't.
See, I knew them rotten bastards had something in there. Go ahead.
What that was.
So when they built that app that way, they were doing it. Look, they know how to skirt this stuff, and they play these games. You know, yes, there is a process. I'm not going to call it a due process. There is a process that an illegal goes through to be deported. He went through that process. They all go through that process. There's no kidnapping in the middle of the night and all the rest of that garbage that they say.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that whether they go at night or during the day, they're still getting deported. And what the left and Democrats have to be able to stand up and say to us is that they believe in those people more than they believe in citizens. And they can't own that, because that's the truth. They do. They don't care about citizens.
So I was before I remembered a part of that court case. Scalia, Gene says El Salvador can keep those 4 Congress people, and Jamie's Cowboys get a first-round draft pick. Absolutely, I'll trade all 4 of them. Shit, Gene, I'll take a 7th rounder for those 4 worthless bastards. But
there you go.
So what the thing in the court case was, they said it wasn't we the citizens, it said we the people. So they tried to claim anybody who was inside our borders at the time as the people to have the right to due process and all this shit. I guarantee you, if you ask freaking Chris Van Douchebag Holland if they have Second Amendment rights, he would say, no, you can't do that. But why do you get to pick and choose the rights then? Right?
Yeah.
They can have all the rights I have except for that Second Amendment right, because that guy's never had a gun control bill run under his beak that he didn't think was the greatest, sexiest thing he's ever seen. So these, I mean, there's got to be a way to out these phonies. That they need to get them in, you know, on or the judges for that matter. It just, it's been. I mean, they got us on this one a little bit here, and it's frustrating as hell.
I think that we need to let them keep making mistakes, and we have to keep talking about it. The weakness in that's happened before hasn't happened now, because with Caroline Leavitt and the rest of the administration is they're pushing it into the news every single day. And yes, it is a distraction, but we've got enough people to run that defense.
Right.
So let them keep it in the news. Yeah,
she's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, she is. She does a fantastic job. She don't take no shit from nobody. I love it.
Gene, God damn it, Alex, I'll let you go once right here. I have to say this before I took a picture of it. Clay, you always talk about making T-shirts. Gene's got one of the best T-shirts I've ever seen. Trump is the first fascist to ever shrink government.
I love it.
Oh my God!
Like you and I were talking on the phone, and I think we got another one, and it's the hammer and the Holman hammer.
Yeah, the Holman hammer. You can need a picture of Tom Holman holding a big sledgehammer.
I think
Holman the hammer.
I'm gonna try to AI generate one of them. I think that's a great new.
Oh, like he said today too. I saw Holman said they were interviewing him about due process, and he said, "What's the young gal's name in Georgia who got murdered there? She was out for a run." He goes, yeah. He said this is the illegal down in Salvador. They want back up more due process than she ever did.
Yep, that's right.
Well, they're grabbing his trust, and I think that we just need to be strong enough. But I think we need more, and I think every single Republican representative, senator, whatever, should be out there beating the drum on this. And I know that it's going to cost. I know that it will cost them a few Democrat votes, and I don't know why they're seeking these. Democrat
I mean,
votes.
maybe do they? I mean, do people? I mean, does it? I think there's enough people with common sense that are going to be like, "Right, you're really defending this?"
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we need to do. We need to call them and little, I hate to say that, put it like this, but we need to extend the hand and say, come on over here, line up with us, because your position is wrong. It's okay. You're done with it now. We're getting rid of them. They're not going to be here. You don't need them here.
Oh, Trump did that to get elected. He got a lot of Democrats coming over and voting for him.
Crossover votes, I believe. When you look at what happened there.
Yeah. So these rallies, and furthermore, I would expand on these rallies. I don't care if they're doing it right. It's already people who hate Trump anyways. It's not like they're sucking in a bunch of people. We got all these new people coming in who hate Trump. No, it's not. It's just you loudmouth idiots couldn't take it anymore. Now let's do these rallies like Trump did and act like we got everything going on. It's the same shitheads who didn't vote for Trump anyways. They voted for freaking Cacklebox. They're not pulling in more people. Oh, Trump's losing supporters. The hell, no. No,
in fact, I don't know if you saw like I said, I'm not a big poll guy, and for every poll that's out there, there's another one to refute.
I like Polish.
Yeah, sausage, man. But anyway, what I found very interesting is the 22 to 35 year range people. Guess what they're doing? And that's the kids who are going into college and coming out.
Yeah.
You know who they're identifying that they support right now? GOP, Republican.
Yeah. Hey, and I mean, Trump got the biggest,
bigger than you've ever seen. And the ones that have gained more support for the other side are 70 years plus. And there's a lot of things when you break down those categories that tell you, I think the Democrat Party's in big trouble if they don't change. And I don't see them changing because they just go farther to the left and farther towards communism. Really, let's call it what it is.
I just got a text says, let's see the cell phone pings from these people who are there. What he's talking about is they're probably the same pings when they were at Black Lives Matter rallies and Antifa rallies. It's like I said, it's all the same people. That's what he's getting at there. And furthermore, you're talking about that demographic. Trump got like young black guys, which 2A701, and I know that the most loathsome son of a bitch I've ever come across on the internet said that would never happen. Black, so they're going to, he's quiet as a church mouse now about his, and which is good. Why wouldn't they, right? Why wouldn't you vote for Trump? The Democrats have done nothing but stomp on your nuts since the late 60s when they told you they were going to help you out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Plus, go ahead, Alex.
It's going to go on for a while. I mean, it's a battle it's a race actually, because we got to get the momentum going and get rid of people. But remember too what's happening, and I think this is good. We're still locking them up. We're still detaining them. We're still putting them in holding facilities, and we're still doing that. We'll get this deportation thing figured out. What we need Republicans to do and lawmakers to do is not back off it, not say things like, well, we got a little bit done, we're doing good, whatever. They need to say, no, we're still going after that 18 million. It's a big number, but we're going after it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't take the foot off the gas pedal. In fact, they need to downshift and floor it. We need to just keep moving.
It's got to be like a lot of these guys that are going to be pulling out of the parking lot over there, Mandan cruising night, putting that foot to the metal and letting their tires freaking spin. Let her buck, baby. Burn them tires off.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Clay. You want to hit one more our last year with our big three?
I think so. Yeah,
big two. What do we got? Big two. We got a big two now, don't we? Not a big three anymore.
We got a big two. Yeah, we got big. All
right, let's hit that and come back. We'll we got the happy ending Chronicle coming up. We'll hit a few more of these comments and do a little what you got coming up Friday and what Mike and I got and what the next show is and we'll do a little more BS with Alex. I've been a great time tonight. This is a fun show.
And I didn't get called away yet, so all must be well. So, all right, we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
And we are back. We're back here with Alex and JD. We've been talking a little guns, we've been talking a little elk hunting. I tell you what,
A little politics.
A little politics.
A little bit.
We're solving everything around right here tonight.
So if you saw the Bloodline Kinetics commercial, I tell you what, I got a little short up there on all our socials. You can check that out. Put a new 10-inch gong up at 450. And I don't got no minute turning the minutes on my scope. I got drops out to 500 in there, but we had a 12-mile-an-hour crosswind. Held up, took 2 shots with it. Go ahead and check that out. Them babies, 450. I'm less than half minute. Those 2 impacts were, granted, they weren't dead center, but I was guesstimating a Kentucky windage, but they both dropped in there about 2 inches apart.
That's
Check
pretty
that
good.
out. Yeah, if you're looking at not 223, man, that's not, to me, out of that 16-inch barrel for hunting purposes, yeah, I mean, you're 450, 500, maybe. I mean, I probably should have cut out a 500 for sure, but like a game animal. But yeah, I mean, it hit pretty hard. It hit pretty hard out there, even at that range. The Nosser bullets kick ass. But yeah, check it out. Yeah. You guys looking to get yourself a nice custom gun with a nice freaking paint job on there, whatever you want. Go down there and talk to Jake at Bloodline, man. You get that barrel on there for you. He can make you the exact same gun I got. The longer I shoot that, the more that barrel's getting broken, the more consistent and accurate. I mean, that sumbitch will shoot anywhere, depending on the weather and the condition and how many beers I had the night before and coffee that morning. Bug hole to 3/4 of an inch group. I love that rifle. And
I think on the 24th, we're going to be doing a little more steel shooting, Jamie, if we get this done down at Whalen's place. And we got our friend from coming out from out in Minnesota. He comes every year. He's bringing us, I believe. So you got to tell me, Jamie.
Chris.
Beaver targets. And I won't tell you the picture he sent me when I first asked.
Okay, let's see
it. We got to the real. He says maybe standing up, maybe like you're chewing on some wood or something. I was like, hey, if we want to stand up one, or do we want one laying flat? You tell me.
I'll tell you what. Usually we shoot them. We usually shoot them when they're freaking swimming down the creek.
I was going to say swimming, yeah.
Yeah, either swimming on the creek or we got them right on the bank, and there's. Yeah, not a standing up one.
So he's planning to bring us a couple targets, like a beaver.
Awesome.
I told him I put my order in for a full-size deer or antelope, and I said I kind of want an antelope. No one has one, so
cool.
True, yeah, that's awesome. I definitely haven't seen that.
Well, I've got a range here too. Mine don't go out quite as far as Whalen's, but I'm getting there. I can go out to 1,000. Just I got to put one in that other field. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, going, hey. It's a good way to get some targets, and he's bringing a bunch of the general round ones.
Awesome.
Squares. So,
I mean, honestly, 1,000 yards, yeah, it's freaking awesome to shoot that far. But realistically,
it is, and
unless you're like,
and it's fun. I'm out of practice, obviously, and I'm finally dinging my 500 pretty consistently here now. But let's just face it, most of any hunting is 300 or less. It really is for me.
Yeah, I mean, most people even the vast majority of the time, I'm shooting the maximum 600, and at our range, you can shoot as far as you freaking want, really. But
Yeah. So.
2A701 says Trump's been the big homie in the hood since the 80s, brother. That he has. That he has.
He was making New York great, wasn't he? So, all right. I think you covered most of these comments.
We got all them coming. All right, so yeah, 100%. When I said that about the black vote, and hey, LF 2A701, he'll verify it because he's he's a brother and I'm not. I'm just a white dude that's good friends with him. Appreciate the guy. He's awesome.
Well, and let's when you look at the Republican Party, especially in the national aspect of it. It has been changed forever by the Trump movement, by MAGA.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just face
it.
Agreed. And I think for the better, and I can tell you that's a lot of the issue with some of these guys. They've been there for decades, and they don't like what they're seeing. They've lost the control to the most part. And anytime, I'll admit that, anytime you've been part of something and you worked your way up and you were in charge and you still thought you were doing the right thing, you didn't want to lose control, did you? Because you wanted to keep on with your idea. Sometimes it needs to happen. I'm not always right, and none of us are. And sometimes you need to be taken out and replaced. And it turns out it's usually better. I think that's what's happening in the national GOP. I hope
it's happening in the Dems too. It looks like it's going to be Vance or Ronnie D versus AOC.
Yeah. I tell you what,
I want that.
I do. I think that's going to be a great race.
Either one of them guys against her. Do it.
I think they make a great team.
I think it's happening too across all the projects. Look, having worked in the federal government, people need to know locally that there are projects that need to go, and it's okay. It's okay if they get cut, and you lose things all the time, and every single federal worker, every citizen out there ought to know that. Look, you're going to lose those things because some of them don't work, and we don't need them. Or
some of them should have never been.
That's exactly right. So once you get a hold of that and you divest yourself, I remember this happening during one of the conflicts, and we had some really small office spaces, and we had one person who had to work at a desk. And I had a desk at the time, but I was downrange, and they were like, "This person's always sitting at your desk. You need to reclaim your desk." I'm like, "Dude, it's not my desk. It's the government's desk. It's a taxpayer desk. It's not even like
I always tell everybody." When they say, "Oh, well, I get a government grant, I get free money." No, there's nothing free.
No.
Government makes nothing.
How's that working, Harvard?
Nothing, and they sell nothing. Therefore, the only money they have is if they take it from somebody.
Trump took away the money from Harvard. He's an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, we got to say this that money needs to go from Harvard. They shouldn't get a dime of it. And I don't care about freedom of speech.
Exactly. None of them should, Alex.
Medical grants or anything else. But the reality is this: if they want to do that stuff, they do it as a private institution. They don't do it with their tax dollars. Okay, and if they do,
what they say they got like $5 billion in their freaking account in their bank. They're banking like $5 billion, and they're taking taxpayer money. Kiss my ass! No way, man.
$2 billion is where they're.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I mean, even freaking worse.
Yeah, even worse, right? So they don't need our billion or my $16, whatever I send them on my tax dollars.
So what torques me off is, and I'm directly involved in the egg world. I mean, I raise cattle here. I got a few tillable acres, but that's changing too. I take, how much I take? I'm not in any program. I take nothing.
There you go.
I don't sign up. I don't have to visit an FSA. I don't do any of it.
You're with the program, Clay.
Yeah, you bet. But, and that stuff needs to go. All it does, and I know I'm going to piss a lot of these guys off, and I already have, and I don't care, because if you can't make it without that government money, you're doing it wrong. Okay?
Yeah, it's true.
I don't have debt.
Right.
We own our land outright. We don't have the newest, latest, greatest, and I don't try to buy $200,000 tractors to beat a $20,000 tax bill. That's stupid. But when you get all these payments and you look, and that frees up your expendable money if you're on a ranch and a farm. If you're getting all these payments coming in, well, guess what? Now you, rather than going and buying that $1,000 acre land, Well, you've got more money to spend, so you run it to 15, so that inflates. It's bad all the way around.
Trends around. You know, I'd love to have a bobcat out here or a backhoe just because I always need to do something.
Mhm.
But like I tell Cindy all the time, if I'm not going to use it every third day, I'm not going to invest in it. So I got the same old 4520 sitting over there, 1969, that needs some
Yeah.
work. And
Oh, 69.
Because I'm not a farmer. I mean, I just get on there and I do what I need to do with it. So, you know, I think what Trump did right on this is he asked. I felt like he asked what people wanted done. You know, he said it, and he was like, "Do you agree with that or whatever?" And I think that's super important because we get a voice. You know, just like the enemy gets a vote, we get a vote.
Right.
But ours was more this time, and we won, and therefore, and we won because I think we were right, and because
Every state.
And
I
we were
think
right,
that's
and there were
right.
groups out there like Turning Point. I mean, there were just more than them that actively went out into them 6 primary states. Let's just face it, it was the 6 states, and worked their tail off for 4 years. They didn't just quit after that. After 2020, they kept on it,
Right.
and it proved to be, and it paid out dividends. I mean,
Yeah.
they signed up more people between the ages of 18 and 25 than had ever been done for the Republican Party.
Right.
Numbers mattered. And even if there was a steal, let's just set all that aside. It didn't matter. There were so many votes coming in on the Trump side. It was going to happen. And, you know, Jamie and I were doing a live coverage there at Kelly's victory party. And I mean, we knew it. We could see the votes coming in. It's like, hey, this ain't going to be the long night they're talking about because it's done.
Kick
Well,
ass.
Look where we are now too with this with the voting now. We've already got an order through. I mean, a executive order through, and probably a law soon that you have to have real ID to vote, and you have to show it to vote. And right on the heels of that could come a single day for voting, and only absentee ballots. Right?
Yep. I never believed in mail-in ballots. Absentee, fine. You used to be able to get an absentee if you weren't going to be here. You were able to apply for that absentee, but it wasn't. And then we got a big problem in North Dakota because a few years back, they decided, the legislature, to just make it so one polling place had to be open in each voting area.
I know. Well, I ran into it. Yep.
Yeah, and here I have it. I got to either go to Fort Yates or vote absentee. That's a little over 100 miles for me on the highway. I could trim it off doing some gravel. That's BS. In fact, our place used to rotate between another place here on this end of the county as the polling. We need to have that. If there's anything you don't cut, it's something that guarantees your right to vote.
Down south of Fargo, it's exactly the same. They got a 100-mile-long district and one place to vote. I saw those guys all the time. That's wrong. If you're going to spend any money, you spend it on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no shit. 100%. Yeah.
And
we waste money on all kinds of shit. You can't open another polling booth once every freaking 2 years.
And this is right. He says, TA701 says, COVID was a game changer. Not just that, it was the changing pivotal point. When we look back on this in history, we're going to look right there and go, oh, here's where everything changed. And they wanted to do this stuff before. They couldn't get it. They wanted to go more electronic. They wanted to do this.
That's right.
And that did it. They gave them the excuse, we can't do this. We can't do that. I mean, we saw it with our own North Dakota GOP. They canceled the state convention.
Yeah.
Because of China virus, which was such bullshit. I'm not even going to go down that path because
I think you're right. So you got to remember that the enemy has a plan, and sometimes they wait for the conditions to be right to implement it.
Absolutely.
And if we look at this tactically, we have to be ready. So they got through on it. They did it. But look, they're showing their hand right now with this stuff, when they fly down to El Salvador and do the stupid stuff,
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, and then they always bitch about, you don't, it's against your constitutional right if you have an ID to vote. You guys want people to come in here without a freaking ID, you don't know who the hell they are, and let them come across their border because you think you're going to sucker them in to vote for you. When I say you guys, I mean freaking Democrats, right? You guys want us to have a goddamn ID to buy a freaking gun all the time, right? And furthermore, the DNC, to go to their freaking rat convention, you had to have a goddamn ID to get in there. Hey, for Christ's sake, these people are hypocrites beyond belief.
Now, you need an ID to rent a motel room. You need an ID to drive. License. They sold that privilege back to you. You need an ID to buy a gun. You need an ID to buy cigarettes. You need an ID to buy alcohol. That's just off the top of my head, and I know there's a thousand other things. But yet, if you're
No,
illegal,
Clay, there's
you
no
don't need
restrictions
an
on buying a gun. You just
I'm just
can do
gonna,
it anywhere you
I'll just say it for everybody out there listening. You need an ID to go into the library and pick up that book that's unfit for a third grader to read.
Yeah, no doubt.
Put in there.
That's a great example.
I mean,
great example.
let's look at the public indoctrination systems they call public schools. Every one of them kids has an ID to move about that building.
Yeah,
This is not a new thing. We've
So
had
like
IDs
people
for a long time.
like the teachers coming in, you know, they got to have IDs. You don't think they shouldn't have them either? Then, right? Anybody can just walk in there and say they're a teacher. Where's
So
your
the
ID?
other day-
I don't freaking need one. Chuck Schumer said, "Stick it up your rear end."
The other day, I heard some Democrat in Washington saying, I mean, it's so insulting, saying that not only could blacks not get IDs because it was too hard for them, but they then threw mothers. They said, and mothers, they don't have time to get IDs, so they're not going to get to vote. I mean, it went over. It just flew right over everybody. I'm like, you really said that? I'm like, how can you say that stuff?
Unbelievable. Wow, they always make it sound like some of them are even smart enough to get it. And I'm like, really? They're not smart enough? That would be the ultimate insult right there, right?
Heck, if you want to hunt in the state of North Dakota, you better have an ID, because when you fill out your application online now, by the way, you have to have one. You have to have your driver's license number or your social security number.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, they have no grounds for that shit, in my opinion.
And we need to stick together on it, because we're close to this now. We could get it back and all the stuff.
Yep.
We have to. This is just this short period could fix it, and it could go through on law. So that's what we need. And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to reach out to people. I mean, I'll ask like this tonight. I want people to reach out to me if they got questions or they think there's topics we should be looking at. And I'd like to know from people if there's support out there, because I want to get involved in it again, but I'm going to work a little bit harder on gathering some support, because I got to be smarter about it.
Well, I thought you were working pretty damn hard myself, but I mean, I'm more than happy to help you any way I can, Alex.
Well, it's like this area down in here, and I think you did make it over here, and I wasn't available when you came down to District 31, which is in the middle of Standing Rock. But that was kind of short term or short notice, but with a little planning, I think you could do well in this area as well, because you're a real guy.
Well, I appreciate that.
Man, I agree with Brian right here. Brian Warner, fellow MV, said, thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
I used to have a sign that said something similar to that. It goes that those who always think they're right are very annoying to those of us who are.
There you go. That's right. There you go. Yeah. I think I said that a couple times, actually.
Good stuff. All right, Clay, I tell you what, we're getting up before you got to blow doors here. What's it say? Just look for the truck and the lab. There you go. That's talking about you, Alex, for sure.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, you got to incorporate the dog in there a little more when you're.
He gets more votes than I do, and I'm going to use that. I'm working. I don't know if you remember that the movie Brother Where Art Thou, but he's my brain trust. So
there you go. For those of you that are listening,
I'm the guy in the passenger seat when you drive by and we see a deer and I make you pull over.
There you go. Oh yeah. He's a talker too. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You know that tomorrow when someone's listening to this on iHeart or any of our other podcasting platforms, they're going to be going, "Oh, Brother, We're Out." I've never heard of that movie, because that's how young they are.
That's so true. That's so true. Yeah.
Alex, how art thou? We'll change it.
There you go.
There you go. You know, I forget. I got to tell you, we were at a forward base, and we had 2 DVDs. Okay, we were there a long time. One was Brother Where Art Thou, and one was the Hulk.
Oh, geez.
Well, we watched these. I know we watched these 2 DVDs like every other night until we thought we were watching the whole Hulk movie. Turns out there was 2 DVDs. And we didn't have the second DVD. We thought it was a terrible movie.
Oh, so the Hulk was Eric Bana or the other guy who was
with Banner, yeah. And it was broken into 2 DVDs, probably a bootleg copy. But anyway, I remember looking at it saying, "Where's this part? I never saw that." And the guy's like, "Well, you didn't see the end of the movie." So anyway,
that's funny. You only got half the story. Oh my goodness.
Oh shit! All right, Clay. Tell you what do you got coming up?
Well, Friday? I know that Friday morning, Mitchell in the morning, 7:15 Mountain in the morning, 8:15 in the Central Time Zone. You know, I'm gonna make Todd do this story. I've been wanting to talk about this United States Air Force test out of a B-58 jet bomber with a bear. Stay tuned because it's kind of a funny story.
So the B-58 was before the B-52, right,
Yes,
Alex?
it was. Yep.
Okay.
And they didn't last long.
I know that because my grandpa worked on the
There you
tail guns in them.
But
so
yeah, it was a great story. We'll get to that. I, of course, going to have a happy chronicle. I'm going to update you on some of the legislation. I believe 1588. You know, it was passed and it was signed by Governor Armstrong. I'm still not a fan of it, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why I would have liked to see it. It's not horrible, but it's not a bill we needed. It just wasn't. It didn't do enough to do anything. So at least all the bad stuff got stripped out of it. But to me, it should have just been a killed bill, just been done. So, and then a couple other things I'm going to put in there. So join us tomorrow or Friday. We're not on Thursday night. Join us on Friday morning.
Gets me too. We did that.
Yeah, we were doing Thursdays.
So Clay will be on at 8:15 Central, 10 o'clock. If you missed the beginning of the show, I'm going to be on with Michael Bell, Dakota Mornings. Michael and I, the first ever Michael Bell first round draft review, not the preview. The draft's tomorrow night. Michael and I are going to be talking some draft. I don't know if it's going to be 30 minutes or an hour. It depends on Senator Kramer. Hey, Kevin, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I hope you have a meeting and Michael and I get to go an hour. But check that out. KFYR 550, 99.7 FM or iHeart. We're going to be talking some draft if you like some football or if you just want to hope Michael and I crash and burn trying to talk about it, by all means. Come on, doing it to Clay next Wednesday. I'm not sure I'm going to be on because JD's birthday next Wednesday, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 54. I'll be 54. I'm getting just about all gray here, man. So it's,
I'm in trouble. Then I'm only 50.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on, but you never know. We'll see what happens before that comes up.
Do a birthday special just for JD. There we go.
Yeah, have some cake.
Yeah, have some Coors Light, man. It's just less calories.
Maybe I'll have to actually run up to Bismarck and we'll do something live from up in Bismarck. Well, we'll talk.
Let's see what happens when he gets closer for sure. But yeah, other than that, man, that's about it. That's all I got for you guys. I don't know if you guys got anything to add here. Alex, it was freaking awesome having you on, buddy. Looking forward to getting you on in the future again.
Absolutely.
Same here. Appreciate it. Just a quick shout out since you're going to talk to Michael tomorrow. Ask him
Friday.
On Friday. Ask him about his honor flight he's going on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Will do.
And thank you
again,
guys. Thanks, JD. I really appreciate it. It was good talking with you tonight.
Oh, you bet. Looking forward to you coming down. Hopefully we can get some trigger time in and we'll thaw out some of that summer sausage and have it right there. We'll cut it up right on the gun range shooting table. And I mean, does it get any better than that, does it? Eating summer sausage on the shooting table?
And I want to plug this one more time, especially being one of our sponsors is putting it on. That's the Mandan Monday Night Cruise. Yeah, of course, 14th is done, but May 12th, June 9th, July 14th, August 11th, September 8th, and October 13th, you meet up at the Mandan Sporting Goods parking lot. It's every second Monday of the month all the way through October. So don't want to miss that out. And I know we're going to make it up there, Jamie. I got to make
I'm
sure
ready, man. Let's do it.
is ready to cruise. I'm not trailering it up there. I'm driving it up there. So we're close. I want to drive it up. And I was kind of looking through some of the pictures. There's going to be a lot of them like mine. We've done the mechanical work, but the body and the interior has just been unrestored, and I'm good with that. It's still not too bad a shape. So yeah.
28701 I just sent you the text. He said send him the text when my old ass hits 54. So
and then May 24th, I believe it is, if I was looking correctly. That'll be down there at Whalen's Range, and we'll give you more details as we get closer.
By the way, Clay, before I forget, we're going to keep reminding May 5th, Dakota Mornings, Clay and I, 2 hours with Michael Bell. And in case you're wondering what May 5th is, Cinco de Porto Day, baby.
Cinco de Porto.
I like it. All right. That's good.
That's right. Good. And for those who don't know, if we do have, that's not the Mexican Independence Day.
No, it's not.
That's like in September. Cinco de Porto was made up to sell freaking beer and get people to party.
Yeah, they don't even really celebrate it down there from what I'm told.
No.
All right. Well, Alex, again, thanks for joining us. It was great.
Guys.
2 hours goes fast, don't it?
You guys,
It
yeah,
does.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even got like the big radio breaks, Alex. We're just, and I like so. Right, Alex, you feel like we could go 2 more hours, right? Which we could easy.
Yeah. Well, there's so much
Right.
out there to talk about, guys, but I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And
You bet.
I didn't touch my SR25 once, so I did pretty good.
Well,
Awesome.
and I noticed we're still going live on YouTube, so we're good. We're good.
All
Well,
right.
you bring it down. We'll do a video with it. Shoot some groups, bang some gongs, have some fun, shoot some gel, and that'll be awesome, man.
I'll
Looking
make the
forward to it.
drive, guys. We'll set it up.
You
All
bet.
right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Another episode 140, by the way, coming up next week. Wow, 140 episodes, Jamie. And that's without the special one. So we'll see everybody next week. Friday, I'll see you on KFYR. Me and Jamie both. I'll be on before him with Mitchell in the morning, and then you'll be giving them the draft results. So Alex,
bet.
Jamie, catch you later. Thanks.
Keep
See
your
you guys.
powder dry.
Keep your powder dry.
Yeah.